You ever wonder, can food really help your heart after 50? Especially when you're trying to avoid more pills. I get this question a lot, and I've seen it work with my own patients. One man I worked with, 61 years old, he cleaned up his arteries in just 6 months. No new meds, just food. In this video, I'll show you the 10 foods that helped him and how you can start using them the right way.
Food 1. Fermented vegetables. You might already have fermented vegetables in your kitchen, like sauerkraut, kimchi, or pickled carrots. But do you know how powerful they are for your heart and brain? After 50, your gut changes quietly. And when the gut is off balance, it can trigger low-grade inflammation, which slowly damages the lining of your blood vessels. That damage makes it easier for bad cholesterol to stick, oxidize, and form plaque. That's how strokes and heart attacks begin. Quietly, gradually. Fermented vegetables give your gut healthy bacteria, which produce natural compounds that help calm inflammation, relax your blood vessels, and support better sugar control. In one 2021 study, people who ate fermented veggies 3 times a week lowered their blood pressure risk by 27% and reduced heart problems by over 20%. Let me tell you about Mr. Raymond, 68, from Minnesota. He had high blood pressure, borderline cholesterol, and prediabetes. Instead of taking more pills, he changed his plate. Every day, he added 2 tablespoons of raw sauerkraut to lunch. After 2 months, his blood pressure dropped. His triglycerides got better. But most of all, he told me, "I sleep deeper, no more heart racing at night, my body feels calm again." That's what just a small serving can do. 1 to 2 spoonfuls a day, that's all it takes. Not a quick fix, but a steady friend to your blood vessels. So if you're looking for a natural way to support your heart, fermented vegetables are a smart place to start. And next, we'll talk about a food that's sweet, gentle, and quietly protects your brain from many strokes. You won't want to miss that.
Food 2. Berries. Berries are one of the simplest, most powerful foods you can eat for your heart and brain. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, whichever you like. They're small and easy on your body, but don't let that fool you. Berries protect the delicate blood vessels in your brain and heart. They're packed with natural colors, deep reds, purples, and blues, which come from compounds that fight damage and aging inside your arteries. A Harvard study followed people for 20 years. It found that women who ate berries just 3 times a week had up to 32% fewer heart attacks, just from food, not pills. Berries also support your brain. They help blood flow to your head and may even slow memory loss as you age. One bonus, they don't spike your blood sugar like many fruits. So even if you're watching your sugar, berries are still a smart choice. I remember Teresa, 71. She came in after a small stroke and didn't want to rely on more medication. So she started adding half a cup of blackberries to her breakfast with oatmeal and flax seeds. After 8 weeks, she told me, "I feel clearer. My words come back. I feel like myself again." Her blood pressure improved, her sugar stayed steady, no new prescriptions. That's the kind of food I want you to think about. Not just healthy, but protective. You don't need a lot, just a small handful each day. Try adding them to your breakfast tomorrow. It can help lower blood pressure, relax your blood vessels, and even steady your heartbeat, sometimes in just a few weeks. Food 3. Avocado. Many people over 50 worry about fat, but not all fat is harmful. Avocados are full of monounsaturated fat, the kind your heart actually likes. This healthy fat lowers the bad cholesterol, LDL, and raises the good one, HDL, helping your blood vessels stay clean and flexible. Better blood flow means less risk of heart attacks and strokes. But avocados do more than that. They're also rich in potassium, even more than bananas. Just one medium avocado gives you 700 or 800 milligrams of potassium, which helps lower blood pressure naturally, relax blood vessels, and balance fluid in your body. A 2015 study showed that people who ate avocados regularly had a 20% lower risk of heart disease, not from pills, just from food. If you enjoy avocados, try adding a few slices to your breakfast or lunch. Simple, gentle, but powerful. Mr. Daniel, 64, had a mini stroke in 2022. He switched his breakfast, half an avocado, one boiled egg, and some green veggies. After 6 weeks, his blood pressure dropped from 150/95 to 128/80. His heartbeat steadied, and he finally slept through the night. Avocados also help your body absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K, the ones that protect blood vessels and reduce long-term damage. But those vitamins only work well when taken with a little healthy fat. So when you eat avocado with spinach, kale, or carrots, you're giving your body a stronger shield. If you're looking for something easy, tasty, and good for your heart and brain after 50, avocados are a smart choice. Try it tomorrow. You deserve to feel clear and strong.
Food 4. Dark chocolate. You probably didn't expect this one. Dark chocolate, yes, real chocolate, can actually help protect your heart and brain. But only if you choose the right kind and use it the right way. You see, real dark chocolate, the kind with 70% cacao or more, is rich in special compounds called flavonoids. These flavonoids help your body make nitric oxide, a natural signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. And when vessels open more easily, your blood flows smoother. That brings down pressure inside your arteries and supports healthier circulation. This is especially important if you're over 50, because our blood vessels naturally get stiffer with age. They lose their ability to stretch and bounce back. That's when high blood pressure becomes harder to control, and the risk of stroke or heart attack quietly increases. But nitric oxide, boosted by dark chocolate, helps bring flexibility back to those vessels. Even just a small amount, taken consistently, can gently support your heart over time. Now here's the key. You don't need to eat a big bar. Just 1 or 2 small squares a few times a week is enough to get the benefit without the sugar load. Try pairing it with a few walnuts, or have it after lunch to calm your cravings without spiking your blood sugar. And remember, milk chocolate doesn't count. It has too much sugar and not enough cacao. So next time you're at the store, look for 70% cacao or higher. The darker, the better. It's a simple pleasure, and for your heart and brain, it might just be a sweet kind of medicine. A review of 8 major studies in the BMJ Medical Journal found that people who ate a little dark chocolate regularly had a 37% lower chance of heart issues and a 29% risk of stroke. I remember Mrs. Ellen, 73, from Oregon. She had a mild stroke and was told to avoid sweet desserts. Instead, she added 2 squares of dark chocolate each evening. After 3 months, her top blood pressure dropped from 142 to 132. She slept better, felt clearer during the day, and said she didn't miss the sugary snacks at all. Now, all chocolate is not the same. The kind you want has no milk, no added sugar, and 70% or more cacao. That's where the benefit lies, not in milk chocolate bars that look healthy, but are mostly sugar. Just 10 to 20 grams a day.
That's 1 to 2 small squares, is enough to support your heart without raising your blood sugar too much. You don't need a lot, but you do need to be consistent. Think of dark chocolate not as a treat, but as a simple, natural tool to protect your blood vessels, brain, and heart as you age. Try this tomorrow. Keep a bar of 70% dark chocolate in your kitchen. After lunch or dinner, break off one small piece. Enjoy it slowly and feel good about it. But don't stop here, because the next food may be even more important. It works deep inside the blood, where tiny clots can quietly build up. It's not sweet, it has a strong smell, but it can help stop a sudden stroke from happening when you least expect it.
Food 5. Garlic. You might already have garlic in your kitchen, but do you really know what it can do for your heart and your brain? Garlic isn't just a spice. It's one of the oldest natural tools we've used to keep blood flowing and protect against sudden strokes. When you crush or chop garlic, it releases something called allicin. That's the part that gives garlic its smell, but also its healing power. Allicin helps your blood flow more freely. It makes the blood just a little thinner and keeps platelets from sticking together. Have you ever heard of aspirin? Doctors give it to people after a stroke to help prevent clots. Well, garlic works in a similar way, but without the side effects that aspirin can sometimes cause, like stomach irritation or bleeding. And there's more. Garlic also helps calm down silent inflammation inside your body. That type of swelling can quietly damage blood vessels, making them stiffer and more likely to clog. But when you eat garlic regularly, it helps your arteries stay more flexible. And that means better blood flow to your brain, your heart, even your hands and feet. I've seen it work again and again. One of my older patients, Mr. Fan, 72 years old, started eating 1 clove of garlic each morning, chopped into his oatmeal. After a few months, his blood pressure came down, and he said, "I feel lighter, not just in my body, but in my head too." You don't need much. Just a small clove a day is enough. Raw or lightly cooked, but not burned. That keeps the allicin strong. You can try adding garlic to your soup, mix it with olive oil and lemon, or simply chop it fine and leave it out for 10 minutes before eating. That simple step helps release more allicin. Allicin helps your blood flow more freely by gently thinning it, much like low-dose aspirin, but without the stomach side effects. A study from Germany followed over 200 people around your age. Those who took garlic extract for 5 months saw their LDL, the bad cholesterol, drop by 12%, and their blood flow clearly improved. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold. He's 66 from Texas. He had a mild stroke that left his speech slurred and part of his face numb for days. After that wake-up call, he changed how he ate. Every morning, he crushed 1 garlic clove, mixed it with a spoon of olive oil and warm water. After 3 months, he told me, "I feel like blood is finally moving in my body again. I could walk uphill without stopping to catch my breath. And most of all, no more signs of clogged vessels." Now, if you want the most benefit, here's the key. Crush the garlic and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. That gives the allicin time to form. That's the compound that works best. If you have a sensitive stomach, take it with a bit of oil, soup, or a few bites of other food. Just 1 small clove a day. That's enough. It's not about taking a lot. It's about doing it right and doing it daily. Try it tomorrow. Your heart, your brain, they'll thank you. Now, what if I told you there's a food that not only protects your vessels, but also helps manage blood sugar, which is at the root of both heart attacks and strokes? That one's coming up next. and it might already be in your kitchen.
Food 6. Leafy greens. Leafy greens are one of the quietest, yet most powerful foods for your heart and brain, especially after 50. Spinach, kale, romaine, lettuce, chicory, they're rich in natural nitrates. Once inside you, those nitrates turn into nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes your blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and boosts blood flow. These greens are rich in natural nitrates. Once inside, those nitrates turn into nitric oxide. It's a compound that relaxes blood vessels, lowers pressure, and helps more oxygen reach your brain. That's a big deal, because high blood pressure is behind more than 80% of strokes and heart attacks. One study from Australia followed over 50,000 people for nearly 23 years. Those who ate just 60 to 80 grams of leafy greens daily, about a small handful, had up to 26% lower risk of heart problems. Even people who already had high blood pressure saw real change. But it's not just about pressure. Leafy greens are full of natural protectors like lutein, beta-carotene, and vitamin C. They fight off tiny damages inside your arteries and help keep your vessels soft and flexible so your blood flows easier, especially to the brain. I know sometimes it's hard to build new habits, but this one's worth it. You can toss a handful of spinach into your eggs, add romaine to your sandwich, or blend kale into a smoothie with banana and apple. Just one handful a day. Simple, affordable, powerful. You know, I still remember Judith. She's 69, lives in Seattle. One afternoon, she had a mini stroke right on the sidewalk, walking home in the heat. After she got better, she asked me, "What can I do so this doesn't happen again?" We kept it simple. She started blending kale into her morning smoothie and switched her lunch from white rice to spinach salad with olive oil. Just 8 weeks later, her blood pressure dropped 14 points. Her cholesterol looked better. But what she noticed most? She felt more clear, more steady all through the day. Now here's what I want you to remember. Boiled vegetables on white rice aren't enough. You need a mix. Some raw, like in a salad, some lightly steamed, like in soup, and sometimes blended, like in a smoothie. A little good fat, olive oil, avocado, helps you absorb the nutrients better, especially the ones that protect your arteries and brain. Leafy greens may look humble, but they're the foundation for better blood flow and a safer heart. Just try tomorrow. Toss in some spinach, a few kale leaves, even a handful of romaine will help. Do that each day, and you're giving your body the support it needs to protect against stroke and heart attack. But what if you already have buildup inside your blood vessels? Maybe you don't feel anything yet, but something's quietly forming. The next food I want to show you doesn't just prevent damage, it may actually help soften and break down the plaque that's already there, while protecting your brain at the same time. Food 7. Walnuts. Have you ever felt like your mind gets a little foggy or noticed your blood pressure creeping up over time? If that sounds familiar, there's one simple food I wish more people over 50 would use. Walnuts. Not just as a snack, but as a quiet protector for your heart and your brain. Walnuts are full of omega-3s, especially a type called ALA. When ALA enters your body, part of it turns into other helpful fats like EPA and DHA. These healthy fats calm down inflammation, which lowers the chance of plaque building up in your arteries. They also help your blood flow better, so your heart doesn't have to work as hard. But there's something special about walnuts that sets them apart from other nuts. They're also packed with polyphenols and vitamin E. These act like tiny shields that protect your blood vessels from damage over time. As you and I get older, the inside lining of those vessels gets more fragile. That's when damage happens more easily, and why this kind of support becomes even more important after 50. I had a patient named Robert, 72 years old. He didn't like taking many pills, so we started with food first. I asked him to eat just a small handful of walnuts each afternoon instead of chips or crackers. After 10 weeks, his bad cholesterol dropped by 9%.
His blood pressure was steadier, and his memory, he said, felt sharper. You don't need a lot. About 5 to 7 walnut halves a day is enough to get the full benefit. Try them with oatmeal, sprinkle over salad, or just eat them on their own. No sugar, no salt added. And one more thing, walnuts don't just help your heart, they support your brain's communication too. In fact, research from UCLA showed that older adults who ate more walnuts had better memory scores and fewer signs of cognitive decline. Swap your usual afternoon snack for a handful of plain walnuts. Give it 2 weeks and see how your energy and focus feel. This isn't a miracle cure, but it's one more tool, quiet and powerful, to help your body stay strong. A study from Harvard University followed over 210,000 people for 20 years. Those who ate at least 2 servings of walnuts a week had a 19% lower chance of heart disease and a 13% lower risk of stroke. The benefit was even stronger for people who already had slightly high blood pressure or cholesterol. I remember Richard, 69 years old. He felt dizzy almost every morning when getting out of bed. And one morning, his speech got slurred for a few minutes. Turns out, it was a mini stroke. Thankfully, it was caught early. We didn't wait. Richard started eating 5 to 7 walnuts each morning, either by themselves or mixed into a bit of yogurt. 2 months later, his blood pressure dropped from 148 to 130. His cholesterol improved, and most of all, no more symptoms. He told me, "I feel clearer, like I've got my energy back." There's also strong research from Spain showing that older adults who ate walnuts daily had better focus and faster reaction times after just 12 months. That's the brain side of walnuts. They help protect blood flow to the heart and to the head. Add a small handful of walnuts, about 28 grams, to your breakfast. You can eat them raw or lightly roast them. Toss them in oatmeal, a salad, or even a smoothie. They don't need fancy cooking, just steady use. But keep the portion gentle. Since walnuts are calorie-dense, a little goes a long way. If you're looking for something simple to help protect your blood vessels and keep your memory sharp after 60, this is one of the easiest steps to take. You don't need to change everything at once. Just start with one small handful and let your body thank you later.
Food 8. Beetroot. Have you ever had your blood pressure suddenly spike and feel a bit lightheaded or off balance? If that's something you faced, there's a simple root that could help, and it's often sitting quietly in the corner of the kitchen. I'm talking about beetroot. Not fancy, not expensive, but incredibly helpful, especially for you after age 50. You see, beets are full of natural nitrates. When these enter your body, they turn into something called nitric oxide. It's like a gentle signal that tells your blood vessels, relax, open up. When your blood vessels widen even just a little, your blood flows more smoothly. That takes pressure off your heart and gives your brain more oxygen. A study from Queen Mary University in London showed something amazing. Drinking beetroot juice could lower blood pressure in just 3 to 6 hours. The top number dropped by 8 to 10 points. That's the same as some mild blood pressure pills. But here's the key difference. Beets don't carry the usual side effects like dizziness or dry cough. They simply work quietly and naturally through your own blood system. Beetroot also has something called betalain, a dark red pigment that helps calm inflammation inside your arteries. And it's full of folate, which lowers a blood marker called homocysteine, linked to both stroke and heart disease when it gets too high. I had a patient, Margaret, 68, from California. She was on 2 types of medication for blood pressure. Every morning, she felt sluggish, sometimes dizzy when standing up.
We added half a glass of beetroot juice to her breakfast. No other big changes, just one small habit. And over 2 months, her blood pressure held steady. Her doctor began cutting down the medication. She told me, "I feel more clear. I don't get that dizzy spell anymore." You don't need to drink pure beet juice if the taste is too strong. Just blend it with a bit of orange, carrot, or apple. Keep it fresh, and steam beets lightly if you want to eat them cooked. One small note: don't be alarmed if your pee turns slightly pink. That's normal and not dangerous at all. If you're serious about protecting your heart and brain, this is one of the most powerful foods you can add to your week. Simple, affordable, no side effects. Blend half a beet with some carrot and apple in the morning. Drink it slowly. You'll be giving your blood vessels a gentle, healing push in the right direction. Beetroot doesn't just lower blood pressure, it supports your circulation, clears out swelling, and helps you feel clearer and more balanced as the day goes on.
Food 9. Sweet potato. Have you ever felt tired after lunch? Like your head feels heavy, your body slows down? That could be from your blood sugar spiking and then crashing. Many people think sweet potatoes are too starchy, but the truth is, they can actually help protect your heart. If you use them the right way, they're one of the best foods for people over 50. Unlike white rice or bread, sweet potatoes release sugar slowly. That means your insulin doesn't jump too high, and your blood vessels don't have to deal with sudden pressure. Sweet potatoes are full of fiber and resistant starch, two things that keep your blood sugar stable after meals. That's especially helpful if you're dealing with prediabetes or insulin resistance. In a study published in Clinical Nutrition, adults who ate sweet potatoes at least 3 times a week had 17% better insulin function and 13% lower blood sugar than those who didn't. Sweet potatoes also carry a lot of beta-carotene, a natural compound your body turns into vitamin A. Vitamin A helps repair the inside walls of your blood vessels, especially the ones affected by long-term inflammation. And there's more. They're also rich in potassium, a mineral that gently lowers blood pressure by helping your body remove excess sodium. One medium sweet potato gives you about 12% of your daily potassium need. That's a quiet but steady help for your heart. Now here's something you might not know. Purple sweet potatoes have even more power. They contain anthocyanins, natural pigments that fight inflammation deep inside your arteries. These anthocyanins help reduce harmful signals like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. Those are the same signals found in people who've had a stroke or heart attack. It's like giving your body a daily dose of protection from the inside out. A study from Louisiana State University tested this. When people ate purple sweet potatoes daily for 8 weeks, they saw real improvements. Bad cholesterol dropped by 15%, triglycerides by 18%, and systolic blood pressure fell by 9 points. Let me tell you about Donna. She's 63, used to work as an accountant. Every afternoon, after her lunch of white rice and meat, she'd feel foggy and sleepy, sometimes dizzy when standing up. We swapped that rice for baked sweet potato and added some greens. She said, "I feel lighter, more clear-headed. No more blood pressure swings." In 2 months, she even lost 3 kilos, without dieting, just by changing how she ate. Now, how can you use sweet potatoes? Keep it simple. Steam them, bake them. Don't fry them. You can eat them plain or with a little olive oil and cinnamon. Avoid butter or sugar. Those cancel out the benefits. Orange sweet potatoes are great for your eyes and your immune system. Purple ones are better for your arteries and your brain. Both are wonderful for your heart. You don't need a big plate.
Just one medium sweet potato, maybe 3 times a week, is enough to support your heart, your sugar, and your energy. Tip: tomorrow, try this. Bake a sweet potato in the morning. Have it with a boiled egg or a few walnuts. That's a meal your body will thank you for, not just today, but for years to come. Sweet potatoes aren't just a side dish. They're a quiet protector. And for people over 50, that's the kind of food you want on your plate.
Food 10. Ginger. You probably have ginger in your kitchen, but have you ever thought of it as a daily protector for your heart and brain? Ginger isn't just a spice. It's one of the simplest ways to support blood flow, lower swelling, and help prevent stroke, especially after 50. The power comes from a natural compound called gingerol. It's what gives ginger its warm, spicy taste, but it also helps relax your blood vessels and makes your blood flow more smoothly. That means fewer clots, less pressure on your heart, and better protection for your brain. A study in China followed over 4,600 adults. Those who ate ginger daily had a 13% lower risk of heart problems, just from a simple habit. And there's more. If you struggle with high cholesterol or triglycerides, ginger may help you too. A study in Iran showed that just 2 grams a day helped people lower triglycerides by 17% and LDL, the bad cholesterol, by 8%. It even works a little like blood pressure medicine, blocking an enzyme that raises pressure. So if you're over 50, ginger may help keep your numbers in a safer range. I remember Henry, 71 years old. He had a mild stroke and felt scared it might happen again. So we kept things simple. He started each morning with a small cup of warm ginger tea, cut back on salt, and added more vegetables to lunch and dinner. 6 months later, his blood pressure was steadier, his blood tests improved, and no warning signs came back. You don't need a lot. You can slice ginger into tea, crush it into soup, or take it as a powder or capsule. But don't overdo it. No more than 4 grams a day. And if you're on blood thinners, check with your doctor first. Ginger is one of those small things that makes a big difference. Simple, natural, and gentle on the body. And if you've made it this far with me, you're ready for the last step. Let's bring everything together. We've now talked about 10 powerful foods that can help protect your heart and brain after 50. Each one works in its own way, lowering pressure, calming inflammation, supporting your memory, and keeping your blood vessels clear. But the real magic happens when you turn this knowledge into a habit. You don't need to eat all 10 foods every day. Just pick 3 to 5 that fit your life and build them into simple meals. Maybe start your morning with beetroot juice or ginger tea. Add walnuts to oatmeal. Have salmon or sweet potatoes for lunch. Toss a bit of raw garlic into your dinner salad. And if you want a treat, try a square of dark chocolate. You don't have to follow a strict diet. You just need to be steady. Make small changes and stick with them. Don't think of food as medicine. Think of it as a quiet friend, helping your body stay strong every single day. So if you've had high blood pressure, a mini stroke, or just want to stay sharp longer, start with your next meal. You deserve to feel clear, steady, and fully alive for many more good years ahead. If this video helped, tap that like button. It tells YouTube this kind of gentle, real advice matters. And hit subscribe plus the bell So each week, you get simple, practical tips just like this. In the comments below, tell me, are you already adding any of these foods to your meals? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you're not sure where to start, just comment, "I'm ready." I'll pin a simple, heart-friendly meal plan you can try tomorrow. You deserve to feel steady, clear, and fully alive. Let's take the next step together.